I don't believe in God, but last night I went to bed. Before I went to bed, I prayed to God and I said, "Dear Lord, please let me wake up and have an experience of a day without having to deal with obnoxious, annoying gamers." God doesn't exist, because I woke up and I saw this. We covered this on Gavin and Games 6 months ago, 5 months ago, but it's basically Dove, the beauty product soap people. They're working with the Unreal Engine to create a series of ads and websites and also like Roblox environments that promote the fact that gamers come in all sizes and gamers come in all abilities and gamers come at all cognitive levels, whether you're talking about someone with a physical disability, a mental disability, being overweight, what have you. And it's celebrating those things and saying, hey, we all get to game. Who's going to complain? Come on. Who do you think is going to complain? The gamers. This is the tweet coming from Games Radar. Games Radar, the website, they covered this today. Let me read you some of the comments. No, but trying to make people feel good about unhealthy conditions is not actually helping them. Obesity should not be condoned or glorified, period. As long as they warn me that my options for player characters are fat people or disabled people, so I can skip that game for something better. And I say that as a fat person. I do not want to be represented in a video game. I want to play someone better than me. What the fuck is actually happening in our life and industry? Other than you can't spell so good. This is beyond funny now and getting annoying. And by the way, I'm all for having disabled or impaired people being included, but overweight is too far. Again, TOO. You're too far, comma, you're YOU. God damn, man. A little less time tweeting, buddy. A little bit more time in school. You're not born fat or genetically fat. What's next? Heroin addicts? Maybe punctuation in your case, sir? Being overweight is not a lifestyle. It shouldn't be considered okay. It's unhealthy. It's a strain on healthcare. And we clap and say it's okay. Fucking stupid. Dove is a disgusting pusher of fat camp anti-US filth. Now, why do I bring this up? As a fat guy myself, I want to be really clear on a couple of things. Let's take the most obvious. There are people out there that think being overweight doesn't have to mean being unhealthy. It's called health at any size. It's a whole movement. Look into it if you care. Is it absolutely true? I don't fucking know. You don't fucking know either. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. Here's how I know you don't. If you Google it, the vast majority of things that come up say, yes, you can be overweight and metabolically healthy. Oh my God, metabolically healthy. I did it. You can be overweight and healthy. Yes, yes, yes. But then you can also go to medical news that says no. Harvard has a study out that says, yeah, you just can't, the two things don't live together. Okay. So I don't know and you don't know, but let's just take the absolute worst case or if for someone who's overweight. Let's say that there is no way in God's green earth that you can be healthy and you can also be overweight. Okay, let's just assume that's the case. It still doesn't mean these people deserve to be shamed. This is the problem I have with a lot of people, and specifically in this case, gamers, okay? You can look at a woman who's busted her spine and go, well, she's got to be in a wheelchair. You can look at somebody who was born neurodivergent and go, well, they can't really help that. This idea that you can help being fat in the long term, or you can help being overweight or whatever you want to call it, obese. I mean, there are terms, but obese in the long term is just born out of not only ignorance, but it's born out of ego. It's born out of the idea that you want to feel better about yourself than other people. It's the same reason people watch Jerry Springer and all that bullshit. I mean, look at this guy. His name is Alpha Bro. And I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm not saying the fact that this guy lives in the gym. And if you think this guy doesn't think about his diet, I know he does. My ex-wife was this way for a while till she got out of the brainwashing of it. If you think he doesn't think about his diet and his calories and his protein, and if you don't think he's always thinking about his fucking body, then you're a fucking moron. This is his obsession. This is his life, okay? And again, that's fine for him if that's what he wants to do. But the idea that people who are overweight are somehow weaker or lesser, it's absurd. Let me give you some stats. Let me just show you a couple things. Number one, there's a great book came out a couple years back called The End of Overeating. This is from a scientist who was employed by companies like Panda Express with the express intent of figuring out the right things to put in the food to make it addictive so a certain number of people would be unable to stop eating. Salt, sugar, fat, all this stuff. That's the goal of the American food companies. You think these corporations give a fuck about us? Of course they don't. They will put whatever they want into the food as long as it's legal to make us keep going, just like the cigarette companies. So number one, a lot of people, especially in America, are facing a very difficult battle because we have all of this marketing and cheap food and advertising shoved at us and being told this is what you want to eat right now. Doesn't take away the responsibility of the individual for eating it. I get that, but I'm just saying, first of all, that's where we begin. Second off, depending on the study, between 95% and 80% of people who shed a significant portion of weight will gain it back. That is a scientifically studied fact that has been going back since 1960, and it shows up in the results time and time and time again. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to be healthy. That doesn't mean you shouldn't walk and exercise and all that stuff, but how many people have you seen in your life? I mean, look, here's me. This was me right before we started production on God of War. I was spinning about 5-6 times a week. Sometimes I'd do double spins. I was limiting my calories to like 1,300 calories a day. And I had like 3 cheat meals in the week, and I couldn't wait for those fucking cheat meals. That's all I wanted were those fucking cheat meals. And it worked. And I looked like this. And everyone's like, congratulations, you look great. Oh my God, oh my God. And it comes back. Sometimes it comes back more because it's not sustainable. People have a base body weight. Everybody's different. So that's number 2. Number 3 is the biggest point of all of this. If I had said nothing else, why are you people such assholes? Why can't you just be nice to people? Let me explain something to you. Am I overweight? Yes. Am I overweight because my journey through life so far has been one where I came out of a very tumultuous childhood, and I learned back then to cope through my stress by eating. It wasn't that I consciously did it. My parents did it. The neighborhood did it, whatever. That's what I am. Okay, and maybe I can get out of it before I die, maybe not. But that's my journey. But that same journey also allowed me to start multiple companies. It allowed me to make some very big creative video games and have the confidence when my contemporaries had no faith in their abilities and were like, well, why would you pitch that? What if they say no? I wasn't raised like that, okay? So maybe Alpha Bro, I don't know what the fuck this guy's ever done. He's got 8 fucking followers. Not that that means anything, but in terms of he's not a person of note, I don't know who he is. I don't look at his picture and go, oh, that's, this guy from this movie or this guy who achieved this big thing. He's just some guy. Well, just like my life experience that I had nothing to do with, I couldn't control that. It just happened to me. It was the life I was born into. Not my fault and not my achievement. It's just luck. In those lucky and not so lucky breaks led me to being very successful in some areas, creativity, being a great dad. It also led to me struggling with my weight. Well, everybody thinks who they are is some direct result of just their innate ability to be a badass or not. But it doesn't work that way. Take this guy. Let's think about Alpha Bro for a second. Maybe his life, he was raised with a dad that body shamed him all day long, or he was raised with a mom and a dad who loved fitness and it's just in his blood and it's natural. But the guy has incredibly low self-confidence when it comes to his ability to generate anything other than work for the man 9 to 5 days a week, go to his grave as a cubicle rat, right? This idea that his maladies or his life journey has led to this, and this is acceptable. Society says, yay, we like this, even though most people don't realize the toll this takes and how much work needs to be done to sort of achieve and sustain this. And even though Alpha Bro may be miserable in his career or his relationships because his upbringing did not result in a human that was particularly well suited to deal with that aspect of life. Society is like, yeah, but the body, baby, did you see the body? That's what matters. But the same luck of the draw that led some people to be great in areas, but also overweight, well, they're just innately bad. They just need to get their shit together. They're lazy. That's a load of horseshit, people. Come on now. And by the way, that line of thinking is not only cruel to people who are overweight in the case of who he's insulting, but it's cruel to him. Why gamers, especially gamers who up until very recently, and still in some cases are mocked and they're shamed and oh, you're the geeks of the world, blah, blah, blah. You would think gamers would be a little bit more sympathetic. But instead, a lot of them are just still the same fucking assholes they always were. It's like, you know what? If this woman right here or this woman, let's say they're all fucking fat and they sit on their asses all day and they eat their pain. So they don't deserve to have characters in a video game that reflects their body type. Why? Because you want to shame them, because you want to feel better about your choices and you want to feel like you actually have done something because you have massive insecurity and massive self-esteem issues. So stop fucking picking on the fatties, the disabled people, anybody. Just sit down, shut the fuck up, and do some self-reflection and some self-work. Because this is ridiculous that this would generate one, let alone 20 fucking hate-filled, shame-filled comments within minutes of this fucking tweet going up. So be fucking better. And if you already are better, which most of my chat is, most of my community is, when you see shit like this, you don't have to call it out. It's your fucking life. You know that. I know that. But, you know, it couldn't hurt to start righting the wrongs and leveling the playing field, because these fuckers can go fuck themselves.